So put on your media analyst hat, right? I mean, you may be with Affliction down the road. Is their plan? I mean, it's great for the fighters, but I'm looking at revenue stream versus cost, and thinking, well, they better sell a lot of T-shirts, or they better have some other revenue we don't know about, because I mean, it's not going to work long term. I mean, it's good for you now because you may only need one or two fights, but long term, is it going to really provide any change?
I can't speak for Affliction. I'm not in the loop there. Obviously, I have a strong relationship with Todd, and they do my clothing line, the Extreme Couture clothing line, and we're partners in that. But outside of that, I'm not really involved in the Affliction entertainment side of things. I think from an outsider looking in, there's a lot of crossover in the demographic. They do sell a lot of T-shirts. They basically did a 4-hour commercial for Affliction Clothing with that show. So, I mean, that's marketing money he's going to have to spend somewhere anyway.
Yep.
He lost probably $2 or $3 million on the show. Is it a wash? Probably not a wash, but they're probably not going to lose that kind of money. With the first event that they put on, they're probably not going to lose that kind of money forever. At some point, they're going to make money putting cards like that together. So, there's a gamble there, I'm sure, but as a fighter, I think the competition is healthy. It creates a marketplace where we can kind of go and leverage more for ourselves, and so I mean, those are all important things to a lot of those fighters.
I've said all along that essentially, to me, it's like a $6 million advertising package. I mean, I don't know what it's like to deal with money like that, but that's kind of what they did here.
Why?
Yeah, well, eventually, you got quite the franchise working now with the gyms and the merchandise, and obviously maybe the last couple of fights of your career. And Randy Couture's with us. So did you get wind of your wife coming in here? And we debated about women's fighting a little bit.
Straighten those guys out.
Well, she was pretty mad. Well, first of all, there was a little, and I think we even said this, there was a little anger directed towards you, because I watched the fight, and I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it. I felt bad for her. I enjoyed the beginning. Like, I'll tell you what I saw, and you tell me what your feelings were. I watched the beginning, and I was watching you when she was out there, and she was all fired up, like all really stoic, and I could see a smile on your face, like, this is really cool. But then I kind of had the full range of emotions. At the end, I felt bad because she was kind of crying, and it was almost like, maybe Randy made a mistake here in not giving her better advice or throwing the towel. What were your feelings?
And first of all, she's an individual that does what she wants to do. Whether I want her to stop or not, she's not going to stop. This is her deal. It has nothing to do with me. And I feel bad because she's dragging around my last name, and everybody's giving her all this media attention for her first couple fights that the average fighter doesn't have to put up with until they get way further down the road. And she's taken all that in stride. She gets frustrated because people act like she's going to walk in with her eye hanging out, and all this craziness that just wasn't there. Yeah, it was a bloody fight. She broke her jaw, and she bled a lot from her mouth. But I think because she's got pretty blonde hair and pretty eyes, and is endowed in other ways that people freak out about that. When it gets down to it, her and a lot of these other females that choose to compete in this sport are warriors, just like the guys. They love to compete. They love the sport. They love the training, and they're very dedicated. And so they should be treated as such. Just because they're females, they shouldn't be treated any differently. And I think that's where she gets real frustrated.
I will say my opinion changed a little bit watching the last couple of Elite XC fights. So I think I just need to watch more of it to get comfortable with it.
And I think everybody's that way. I think everybody needed to watch more of us when we first started too, to get comfortable with the ground fighting, to get comfortable with two guys punching each other and kicking each other and doing all the things that